afternoon from the KUOW newsroom. This is Seattle Now on another World Cup host day for the city. I'm your host, Paige Browning, with today's top stories. It's Wednesday, July 1st. Our top story today, big changes around homelessness. Today, Seattle and King County officials announced a major reset for the Regional Homelessness Authority. Amy Radel has the story.
Together, Seattle and King County provide almost $160 million to the Regional Homelessness Authority for contracts with service providers. But King County Executive Gurmai Zahalai and Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson say they will reclaim oversight of those contracts starting in January. Zahalai said Wednesday this is not a celebratory announcement, but the agency isn't closing down either.
I actually think this is a sober moment of taking responsibility and taking necessary next steps. But in terms of is the entity being dissolved, the answer at this time is no.
An analysis this spring showed mismanagement and lack of financial controls at the agency. The agency will still be in charge of applying for $67 million in federal funding this fall. The Trump administration recently suspended that funding for a similar agency in Los Angeles, citing fraud concerns. Amy Radel, KUOW News.
Senegalese soccer fans were on edge in Seattle today, with today's game going into extra time. After leading 2-0 for much of the game, Team Senegal lost to Belgium 3-2 in extra time in the FIFA Men's World Cup match played here in town. Kate Sanger cheered on her team in a homemade jersey at the Pioneer Square watch party.
I'm very proud. I'm happy to be in Seattle and hear Seattle celebrate Senegal.
Sanger said all Africans are rooting together during this tournament, but after living in Senegal for 26 years, she says it's the best country playing. Senegal is one of 9 African countries that made it to the knockout stage. That's a record for the continent. Seattle is set to host one more match this World Cup. It'll be on Monday, and that could include Team USA if they win tonight. The World Cup matches in Seattle have been a big boost for many local businesses. However, that has not been the case for the Chinatown International District. KUOW's Cornelius Hawker shares what community advocates and business owners from the CID are going through and what they want from the city.
As a sea of Belgium fans marched to Seattle Stadium to see their team take on Senegal, advocates, business owners, and community organizers from Chinatown International District held a press conference. They wanted to call out the negative impact they say the World Cup has had on their community. Tanya Wu, a community organizer whose family owns businesses in the CID, wants the city to do more so this doesn't happen again.
We just want the city to engage in conversation on how we can improve in the future.
Wu and others also want the city to address the drug use and the unhoused who've made their homes on street corners in the CID. For KUOW, I'm Cornelius Hawker.
Just in today, Amazon's pollution is way up. The company just released its annual sustainability report, and in the past year, Amazon's total carbon emissions increased 16%. The increase is driven by a multi-billion-dollar data center build-out. Monica Nicholsberg has more.
Artificial intelligence is causing big tech companies to regularly report double-digit emissions increases, even as they promise to slash them. Amazon has pledged to have net zero emissions by 2040. Brandon Oyer develops energy portfolios for Amazon Web Services.
I think as opposed to absolute commitments, what's important is intensity.
Carbon intensity measures how much carbon was emitted compared to each dollar of revenue growth.
So if energy goes up because the business grew, but carbon intensity trends down, then that shows that we're on the right trajectory.
But environmentalists say when it comes to global warming, total emissions are what matter. Monica Nicholsberg, KUOW News.
Our other major tech company made news today, too. Microsoft could be on the verge of its next big round of layoffs. Business Insider reports that people familiar with the situation expect thousands of people to lose their jobs. In total, sources told the outlet, Microsoft may cut 2.5% of its workforce. Cuts are expected in the Xbox division, sales, and consulting. Unionized Xbox workers held a news conference this week to share they're frustrated with the company and that Microsoft has delayed union bargaining. Microsoft has not confirmed the reports. How's everyone feeling about road trip costs as we enter a long holiday weekend? Well, here's some news. Washington State's gas tax rose by 1 penny per gallon today. It's part of a hike passed by lawmakers last year. State government reporter Sarah Mises-Tan has more.
The increase kicking in today comes after a 6-cent hike on gas taxes last year. The new increase brings the state tax to 56 cents a gallon. It all comes amid record prices at the pump. Washington has some of the most expensive gas in the nation. Taxes are partly to blame, along with the war in Iran. Gas taxes are meant to bolster the state's road maintenance and safety programs. But a recent report finds the transportation budget in the red by millions of dollars. State officials say people are simply buying less gas. That's because there are more fuel-efficient cars on the road. Another increase in the state's gas tax will hit next summer. In Olympia, I'm Sarah Mises-Tan.
We've talked gas and soccer spending on the show today. Personal finances are also at the center of this next story. New federal student loan policies took effect today, and that means people may start paying more. Noelle Gasca reports.
The Saving on a Valuable Education plan aimed to decrease monthly payments for lower-income people. Some paid $0 a month. But as of July 1st, Save is dead. If you're one of the 7 million borrowers enrolled in Save, you'll have 90 days to pick a new plan.
If you miss this window, this 90 days to select the plan that's going to be maybe not good, but the best for you, you'll be forcibly placed on a more expensive standard plan.
That's Winston Berkman-Breen, the legal director for Protected Borrowers, a DC-based nonprofit. If you miss the deadline, Berkman-Breen says you can still apply for a new repayment plan. But you may end up with steep bills for a couple of months as the Department of Education processes your paperwork. Noelle Gasca, KUOW News.
In the good news category, a sighting of a single black bear is bringing smiles to conservationists this week in Western Washington. A bear has used the Snoqualmie Pass Wildlife Crossing Bridge for the very first time. WSDOT started recording the crossing in 2018 and has seen more than 9,000 animal crossings over those 8 years. No bears. But on Sunday, a black bear was seen on camera galloping across and then exploring the crossing, which was built to prevent cars from fatally hitting wildlife. WSDOT says it likely took this long because black bears are cautious and take longer to feel comfortable on the human-made crossings. And finally today, newspaper journalists across the region finally just got a union contract. After going on strike in May, unionized journalists at 5 McClatchy-owned newspapers in Washington state and Idaho have ratified a 3-year deal. The agreement secured pay increases, and according to the Washington State and Idaho News Guilds, it also institutes that AI cannot replace reporters. Becca Most is a reporter at the Tacoma News Tribune and a union steward.
McClatchy cannot force us to use AI. AI can't be used to reduce staff, pay, or working hours, or eliminate future reporter positions. The company has to disclose if content is created by AI.
In addition to the News Tribune, the agreement covers journalists at the Olympian, Bellingham Herald, and the Tri-City Herald. McClatchy Media has not responded to requests for comment from public media by our deadline. Next time on Seattle Now, we'll hear the story of the legendary karaoke spot, Busch Garden.
My favorite nights would be when the whole space became like one big party. People come in and they start at one table, or they make friends with somebody at another table, and pretty soon they're sharing at each other's tables.
In a collaboration episode with Vanishing Seattle's Cynthia Brothers, we'll explore the history and resilience of the CID institution. That's Thursday morning. That's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Andy Hurst, and I'm Paige Browning. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. See ya.